I am a teacher. I was born a teacher. My first memory from my childhood is having my dolls in line, learning the tables with a blackboard at the back. And then my young sisters took over, and then my friends in the school. As far as I remember, I've always been teaching somebody something. Until one day, I realized I had a power. I had the gift to see beyond the children's eyes. I could see that I could change their minds and their hearts through education. And then I decided to dedicate my life to do it. Because one teacher can change the life of one child forever. One school can change the life of a community. I've seen it in Africa, in small villages, where a tiny school can make flourish the whole community and make the lives of every home to improve. But if you want to change a country, you need to change the educational system. So one day, I decided to create Trilema, the foundation of teachers who share the same passion and commitment and vision about how the school can change the life of a country. So we now visit thousands of schools all over Spain and beyond. We work with thousands of teachers changing their own classrooms, changing the schools, and trying to change the system. So we've learned if we want to change a school, we need to do different things at the same time. So we use the metaphor of the Rubik's Cube. If you try to sort the Rubik's Cube, you tend to sort one face. Let's say you try to do the red. And then if you're patient, you get it. And then you go for orange. And maybe you can do it. But if you want to sort out all the faces of the Rubik's Cube, then you need to move all the sides at the same time. It happens the same in the school. When we get there, the first thing we need to look at is curriculum. Do you remember Tilly Smith, the 10-year-old girl that was having their holidays with her parents in when the Asian tsunami happened? She was at the beach, and suddenly she saw how the water was fast, very fast, moving about 20 meters. And then she remembered her geography class. And she knew what was happening afterwards. So she told the parents to run away, and they told all the tourists around. And about 100 people got to the hotel, and she saved their lives. How many of you did in your geography lessons tsunamis, earthquakes, and all sorts of geographical accidents? How many of us could actually, if we had been in that beach, reacted properly, use the information we had in our brains to react and take the right decision, and leader as well adults to go to the hotel and take the right approach? Probably many of us don't. Information is not the same as knowledge. Our children get tons of information, not only in the school, but especially outside school. We need to rethink what we teach, what is relevant, what is necessary to confront the challenges of a new life that is coming. We need to revise all these things that have been there for ages with no sense, with no meaning. We need to find exciting contents and make them near the life of our children. And if we want to change the curriculum, we need to change the second phase, which is methodology. Do you remember your childhood? Do you remember the first time you got drunk? Do you remember the first kiss? Can you remember the first time you went on a long trip with your parents? Do you remember lesson 7 of your maths book? Probably not. The memory, the learning, is made of intensity. We need to create intense experiences in the classroom that are exciting, that are emotionally moving, that actually can make an impact of the way children approach the world. We need to make them think critically, to be creative, to be rigorous as well. But we need to change the way we design the sceneries of the classrooms. So for that, we need to change the third phase, which is assessment. Have you ever thought that a child that starts school when he or she is 3, she is willing to learn, and when the child ends school, she only wants to pass tests? What do we do wrong in schools? The children come wanting to learn and end wanting to pass testing. So the third phase is changing assessment. We need to change the way we evaluate children, and we need to overcome this obsession that politicians and bureaucrats have on results, leaks, and tables. We need to think of the classroom as if it was a football pitch where the children are the players. So if you're looking at a football match, you can look in 2 different ways. You could try to look like the referee who is on the field and is saying what is right and what is wrong and is punishing all the mistakes. Or you could actually look at the match as if you were the coach, the trainer, that is actually sitting there, suffering the game, living each success as its own, and each failure as a challenge to overcome, to prepare them for next match. The teachers need to look at the children as their players of life and get involved in preparing them for that life, to train to be successful. We need to view assessment in a way where children are accompanied, are helped to get the best of themselves, not just to look for mistakes. And if you change in a school the curriculum, the methodology, and the assessment, necessarily you change the way you organize that school. Timetables, spaces, the way we group the children, vertical, mixing different ages, opening spaces, linking with the communities, making real life to come into the classrooms and taking the classrooms to real life. So those scenarios make schools really flexible, and they make them to design their own autonomous project of what's the best way to take all that ahead. And to do these 4 things, obviously, you need the 5th phase, which is leadership. You need to have the people to take all that process ahead. Leadership not understood like, these charismatic people that are very emotional, which probably help. But you need to understand leadership in a school like a strength that, like nerves, go across the whole organization and make them move and make them alive. You need to make teachers to lead the children, to lead the classrooms through 3 different elements that are very important: vision, passion, and commitment. So you need to make strong teams in schools with very wise heads, principals, responsible of different departments that can actually help the whole organization to move smoothly. And you need to make links with the parents and the families and create communities inside the schools that can actually be faithful to the cause that is moving them all the time. So if you get all that, you could think you have a good school, good curriculum, good methodology, assessment, organization, leadership. But we visit thousands of schools, and some of them have something special. They have like a soul in them. And really there is something critical, which is the quality of the relationship, of the emotional relationship that the teacher has with every student. How we personalize the educational action, how we make the best of ourselves to get the children to believe they are much better than they are. So that quality in the relationships, that quality in the emotional commitment, that plus factor that is difficult to define is what makes a school to raise the spirits. Sometimes we fear the future. We don't know what's going to happen. And we think that hunger, violence, injustice, discrimination are our destiny. But that's a lie, total lie. The future is to be drawn, and it's in the hands of the children that are now in our schools. If we actually can change those schools, if we can change their conscience, if we can actually make them to desire a better future for all, we probably will empower them to create that future, their future that is ours as well. Thank you.